collegefootballnews.com, National College Football Analyst Pete Fiutak. Welcome back to T-Town. I hope all is well, man.
This is your week, huh? This is like, what are you going to do when this thing's over? Like, then you have, like, Georgia. All right, who cares? This is it. This is right. This is Auburn week.
Well, and I hope that this team has a little bit of a revenge after getting their butt whipped and handed to them last year in Lee County. I mean, hopefully revenge comes into play, even though they're saying it is not.
But here's the crazy part. Game kind of doesn't matter. I know it does to you guys, but to the rest of the world, you didn't lose this. It doesn't matter. Go on, beat Georgia, win the national championship. You did it last year. You can do it again. I know that's sacrilegious. I know we can't say this week, but game kind of doesn't matter.
And it's never okay to lose a game, as Nick Saban would remind us. I wish they had the...
Of course it's not. And it's not okay to give up 275 yards in the Citadel. It's fine. It's just your big thing. All you care about is that game in a few weeks from now when you go off to Santa Clara, and then you'll be on.
No, you're right.
But you're going to win this game anyway.
You're right.
You're going to blow this game out anyway.
Okay, all right, so help me. Do you think Auburn can even keep this game close?
Yeah, it's going to take Alabama royally screwing up, and it's going to take Jarrett Stidham to go off. I mean, the only way this happens is if Stidham just goes Patrick Mahomes and they just let's just let it rip, and he just gets on. That's the only way this happens. They're not going to run the ball. The defensive front's probably going to keep it relatively close for a while, but the Auburn secondary can be thrown on. The only thing you're worried about is if the Tide just start turning the ball over inexplicably, or if Stidham goes crazy. Other than that, there's not a lot there. The rivalry aspect, of course, everyone cares, but that doesn't really matter when it comes to X's and O's at this point.
All right, so we're talking with Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com, collegefootballnews.com. Pete, let me ask you about Tua Tagovailoa at the Heisman Trophy. Are you buying that Kyler Murray is closing the gap? I mean, do you buy this, or you think Tua Tagovailoa is comfortably in the lead?
Oh, no, Murray's got my vote at this point. I mean, it's...
Oh, come on, Pete. Come on, Pete. Why is that? I mean, he plays against paper tissue defenses out there.
And Alabama, yeah, but here's the thing: you guys are 11-0 right now with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. It's split. It's a split decision. I vote on the Heisman in terms of who the signature guy is for the college football season, and if Oklahoma loses to West Virginia, which I think they will, then and Tagovailoa goes off, yeah, okay, I'll flip it right back. But at the moment, he's doing exactly what Baker Mayfield did last year. Right now, as good as Tagovailoa is, Murray's having arguably the greatest season in the history of college football, at least in terms of stats. When you at least approach what Mayfield did last year in terms of efficiency, in terms of carrying this team, you take Kyler Murray off this Oklahoma team with that defense, and that's a 7-4 team right now. So in terms of MVP, in terms of historical stats, it's not a knock against Tagovailoa at all, but he hasn't been needed the last few weeks. He hasn't been needed for the most part. He's been brilliant, but there's so many parts to this amazing Alabama team. Murray, from an MVP standpoint, a most outstanding player. Again, we're splitting hairs here. These two guys are awesome. But at the moment, yeah, Murray, considering what he's done over the last 3 weeks, yeah, he's boosted himself back into this thing.
All right, so right now you say that Kyler is going to get your vote unless Tua does what again?
Well, basically it comes down to, obviously, these are the money games. If Murray's got to go off against West Virginia, he's got to lead the way to a win. He's got to get to the Big 12 championship. He's got to either play West Virginia. He's got to play West Virginia again, and then if he does that, then it gets interesting. But Tagovailoa's just got to be Tagovailoa. He's got to continue to be great. But there are so many other parts to this. I mean, he's obviously amazing. I mean, there's no when you get into these sort of debates, it's not a knock against either one of these guys. There's no negative to what Tagovailoa is doing. It's just a beauty contest. It's just sheer, just belief system on who's having the big thing. And to me, again, I vote on who's the signature guy of a season. And over the next couple games, especially with what's happening in Georgia, you know what? We can talk all we want about Kyler Murray, but if Tagovailoa goes off against Georgia and they're off to the national championship, yeah, he's the guy. He's the Heisman winner.
Okay. But me debate it this way, and we were just debating this a couple of minutes ago. We had a lot of people throughout the offseason that told you that Jalen Hurts had a chance at this starting quarterback job.
Yeah, I was the one. I was the doorknob who said that. Apparently, nope, that didn't happen, obviously.
Well, no, I mean, I wasn't pointing at you. I don't even remember you saying that, but now since you refreshed me, maybe I do. But
yeah, I was all over that. I was all over the idea that maybe, just maybe, that they were going to, keep Hurts just because the team is so great. You don't want to upset the apple cart, but why do that when you have Drew Brees, throwing for you?
Well, I think that's what we were kind of talking about. I mean, look at the game that he has elevated. I mean, look at Irv Smith. I thought it was a major rub when he was not a part of the John Mackey finalist. And look at what he's been able to accomplish. Look at Jerry Jeudy. I mean, look at this offense. It just takes it to another level, as you said, with Drew Brees at the quarterback.
Absolutely. And it's not fair. It's so funny you mentioned that with the Mackey, because I work with the Doak Walker guys trying to figure out who's the best college football running back this year. And really, who's the most talented running back? Well, basically take the entire Alabama backfield and take the Alabama backfield and the Ohio State, duo of Weber and Dobbins. You probably have the best running backs in the country, but you can't do that because there's obviously not one guy who's standing out. But it's everybody, and there's so much talent across the board that it's not knocking anything. It's just there's so many good parts to this puzzle, and he has just taken this to another level. So it gets to the point where, all right, who could beat this team? Who's got that potential? And it's going to be an interesting finishing kick here to see if anybody can keep this close.
All right, let's talk about national titles. Alabama gets past when we talk about the Auburn Tigers. We think that will be comfortable. Vegas thinks it will be comfortable, but it's still the Iron Bowl.
It'll be comfortable.
Okay, 24.5 points. Would you take that?
Can I give you the comp? Can I remember I wrote this last week as why Nick Saban cared about the Citadel game. Remember in 2011 when Alabama had that historic year with defensive year where the run D didn't give up anything. It gave up 938 yards on the year. It gave up like 302, I want to say, to Georgia Southern and that option attack. And it came back the next week and just destroyed Auburn. Just lit them up. Kind of the same thing this time around. Same thing, great defense. The Citadel and that option offense has the best team of anybody this year on the ground against the Tide. And then they focus back up and come back and take care of business.
All right, let's go to Georgia here for just a minute. Any chance this team can throw a hurdle in front of Alabama? Do you see the same potential as we saw last year in the Dogs?
Absolutely. I mean, because we don't quite know. When you talk about just who has the talent to at least hang, I mean, just start with that. No, Georgia's not playing well enough to, I think, beat Alabama. But if you're talking guy for guy, recruit for recruit, the lines, the skill, the coaching, everything that's involved in it, yeah, Georgia, Clemson, and, I know they're playing like hot garbage, but you'd rather see Michigan or Notre Dame than Ohio State. If Ohio State gets in the college football playoff, I know they stink. They were bad against Purdue. They're awful against Maryland. But they have so much NFL talent that if it has a game on the right day, that might be the team you don't want to deal with. But that's it. No one else. Anybody else you're talking about is going to have to be Alabama just completely screws up.
All right, so let's go to Ohio State, Michigan. I know you've got literally like 90 seconds here, and I got to get you off to another radio show. Michigan, Ohio State. Who do you like in this game?
I'm still wavered on this. I'm sticking with my initial answer that Michigan's just better, and they're going to figure it out that this defense really is locked in. Ohio State's got the talent to screw this up. It doesn't have any pressure on, and it's got Dwayne Haskins in that offense that can absolutely explode. So I'm not shocked if Ohio State wins, but I'm sticking with Michigan.